Hello, you are welcome to today's session. We have this question on the board to solve. The question says that find the zeros of the polynomial, which is f of x equal to 2x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 1. So this is an example that we are solving under the zeros of the polynomial function. This is to help you to understand it better, okay? When a question like this is being given to you, how do you go about with it? First of all, when you have a question like this, you have to write a function which is 2x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 1. I've already done the explanation of what the zeros of a function is about. So they are the factors, or yes, let's put it this way, the factors. At the end of the day, the factors, you equate them to be 0. And when you put the factors into the function should be equal to 0. So right now we don't know the factors. So what we are going to do is that we are going to find one of the factors. And when we find one of the factors, we use it to divide this one. Then we realize that it's likely we may get a quadratic equation. Then we use quadratic factorization to factorize it. Then we'll now equate the factors to be equal to 0, then you get the values of x. The values of x that you're going to get is the what do you call it? The factors, the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so now let's look at it. To find the factor, you are supposed to start with plus 1 minus 1. You will test it, and so on. So you have to put plus 1 or minus 1 inside to find out which of them will make the function f of x to be equal to 0. So you can start with plus 1. So when f of x is equal to 1, what it means that you have 2 multiplying 1, then you have 1 cube. Then you have 1 here, which is square. Then you have 2, 1 plus 1. Now 1 cube will give you 1 times 2, which is 2. Okay, then this one too, 1 times 1 will give you 1 minus 1, so you have minus 1. Then this one too also give you 2 times 1, that is -2. And you have the plus 1. So when you put this one together, that will give you 3. This one will give you -3, and when you deduct, what do you have? You have 0. Meaning that 1 that we put in made the function to be equal to 0. So when we were looking at the factor theorem, what we said was that, and also that of the remainder theorem, we said that when you have the value of x, when you substitute it into the function and becomes 0, what it means that that number is what you use to generate the factor. So here you have x minus 1. Now if the factor is like this, and for you to get the value for x, or the variable which in which you put it into the function, you have to equate it to 0. So here, that x, when this one comes here, you have 1. That 1 is what you came to put into the function. So whenever you have a positive, meaning that when you have a positive number which you put into the function, meaning that when you are writing the factor for that number, it will become negative. Assuming that -1 should have satisfied the equation, what it means is that it would have become x plus 1 as the factor. Then you equate it to 0, then you have x to be equal to -1. So that is what you would have substituted into. Notwithstanding, with this very particular question, the factor is what? X minus 1, then you equate it to 0, you have x equal to 1. That's what you put in over here. Now, having gotten this factor, okay, you are going to use it to divide this to get the quadratic expression. Then you will find the values of the other one. So now let's look at it. We've now established that we have x minus 1 as one of the factors. So this one will divide this. What do you have? That is 2x squared. This one multiplies, you have 2x cubed. The same thing multiplied is giving you like 2x squared. Alright, then you subtract. So it will be negative plus this, that will give you 0. I hope you are following. Then this multiplies that will give you positive plus this, and that will give you x squared. So you bring this one, which is negative 2x plus 1. Then this one will come and divide again, giving you x. X times x is x squared. X will multiply this, giving you what? X. Then you subtract. So here, the negative will affect this one, making this one negative plus this, and that will be 0. The negative will affect this one, making this one positive plus this. So you have negative x plus 1. So it will come here to divide, and that will give you -1. -1 times x is negative x. -1 times this, that will give you positive 1. And that one to you subtract. Negative with positive plus the negative, that will give you 0. This one will affect this plus that will also be 0, and you have it this way. Meaning that you have x minus 1, then you also have 2x squared plus x minus 1. So what you are going to do is that here you have x minus 1 equal to 0, x will be equal to, and that is 1. Okay, so that has become one of the zeros, but we need to break this one down. So the function f of x is now equal to x minus 1, 2x squared plus x minus 1. So our focus is this one. So we have 2x squared plus x minus 1. And quadratic, so you equate it to 0. Quadratic equations are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. The coefficient, which is the a, will multiply the c. So in this case, 2 times this one will give you -2. So you find factors of 2, which is 1 and 2. Alright. So you are supposed to write it such a way that it will meet the demand of the product of this and that, which is -2. At the same time, when you add and subtract, it should give you the positive that you have over here. So you are going to rewrite it as 2x squared plus 2x minus x, okay? So that 2 times the -1 will give you -2. Then when you subtract, that will give you your x. So you have -1 equal to 0. You put first 2 in bracket, last 2 in brackets. So from here, when you factor, you have 2 outside. Then there was also x outside. You have x plus 1. So that 2x times this is 2x squared. 2x times this will also give you 2x. Please, I hope you are following. Alright. Then you repeat the same thing over here, which is x plus 1. Alright. Then you ask yourself, what number is it that when you multiply by x, it will give you -x? And the same number when you multiply by this one, it will give you -1. So obviously -1. Since this side and this side are the same, we write one of them x plus 1. And you pick this one to 2x minus 1 or equal to 0. So you have x plus 1 equal to 0, and that will give you x equal to -1. Then you have 2x minus 1 equal to 0. That will give you x equal to, so let's say 2x equal to +1. And divide both sides by 2. Okay, and x will be equal to half. Now, we want to find the zeros as the question is asking us to. So here you can see that this side you have -1 as one of them. You have 1/2, then you have 1. So when the question asks you that find the zero, you can write, therefore the zeros of the function are